In today's lesson, we are going to be learning about Perplexity Comet. This is a web browser that's powered by AI. Not only does it allow you to chat with it in the similar way that ChatGPT or Grok or Gemini allow you to chat, it also will actually entirely take over your browser and is able to perform multiple steps, understand what it's looking at in terms of what web pages you're looking at, and it's actually able to take actions for you. We're going to jump into Comet. So, this is a look at Comet. One of the nice things about Comet is that it's actually got access to all of the different chat models. If you like ChatGPT, you got it. If you like Grok, you got it. If you like Gemini, you got that, or Claude. You've also got Perplexity's built in sonar model, like I say, Perplexity and Comet are really great because what they'll do is they will typically tend to search for live results on your queries, right? So, for example, what's happening today, right? What's happening today, XYZ, whatever. As you can see, Comet Browser has deployed agents to start searching. Well, it's actually searching my calendar. I should say what's what's happening in the world today. It's now deployed agents to start searching the web for what's going on exactly today. It's finding a bunch of sources and it'll give me a nice little summary. So this is a little different than, for example, ChatGPT, which will often tell you, for example, what it knows based on the training data that it has. ChatGPT does have, web search as well. So this isn't something that's exclusive to Comet. It's just that Comet is really good at searching for data and providing nice results, real time live, information. And like I say, if you like the interface of ChatGPT, you can use that. If you like the way that, for example, Grok is unfiltered and doesn't have necessarily any bias, and you can just sort of ask Grok whatever you want, you can switch over to Grok, and you can use Grok or Gemini or whatever your favorite chat agent is. So that's cool. That's great. So we have access to everything from our Comet browser. Additionally, what we have is this handy little sidebar. This little sidebar is sort of our contextual assistant. So if I was to say, hey, go to like google.com, no, bad example, go to youtube.com, and I would say, okay, there's let's see, what's a interesting video that I'm kind of curious about? Let's try something like make money online, right? Let's make money online. I don't know if you've ever done this. You'd be like, oh, such a great like clickbait headline, right? Oh my God, Google released new AI to make money online, no code. All right, 17 minutes. Is this going to be anything interesting? I have no idea. But
So one thing that I find really interesting is
let's
that
pause that.
Google.
But what you got is the Perplexity Assistant built in on the sidebar. Now it's looking at the same page that you're looking at. So you could say like, okay, summarize this video and give me the key takeaways in short form, right? So it's actually going to now watch this video. And by watch this video, I mean it's going to check out the transcript for it. And it'll give you the key takeaways for what this video is all about. Instead of, 17 minutes, you've got that all in seconds. You can also use this to help, research or learn or kind of follow up on whatever you happen to be interested in. So, for example, let's say we've got this Yahoo story open. I could say, hey, is this story true? Right? Any more references? Right? So we could say, contextually, what are we looking at? We could ask our helpful AI assistant, which now has read the story because it's looking at this as well as us, and it'll then go and do a quick search and see what it can find. 21 references, right? In like half a second, it basically searched. So it's like, yeah, this story is true. Widely reputed news agencies, etc. So this is basically your handy assistant for everything you're browsing and searching on the web. Now, that is cool. What is cooler is when you want it to help you take over your browser and, well, basically control your browser for you in an agent-based intelligent way that's capable of multi-step. So a classic example is take over my browser. That's what you say, take over my browser. If you want it to take over your browser, take over my browser and find me a flight, let's say nonstop flight, to be more specifics, nonstop flight from SJD to YVR, San Jose del Cabo to Vancouver. This sometime this week. All right. So that now is going to take over my browser. You can tell it's taking over my browser because of this blue border that's kind of flashed up. Now, this is going to do its work in the background. I don't have to sit here and wait. Now, keep in mind, as I'm showing you this, my hands are not on the keyboard and mouse anymore. Everything you see happening now is being done entirely by the Comet browser. So it's now currently typing in the address that I asked for, Vancouver to San Jose del Cabo. As you can see, it's thinking on the right, so it's actually looking at the feedback it's getting from the website. It's actually even taking screenshots to see what it's looking at, and reading the code of the web page to figure out what to do. It's now putting in the date and time and that sort of thing. This is entirely happening without any of my input. Now, what I was going to say is that while it's working, you don't have to sit here and watch it. You have full control of your computer. You can keep doing whatever you want, and this tab is going to continue working on your request. As you can imagine, that could be quite useful. I'm over here in Mexico, so sometimes I want to research what is a product for sale. Let's say and I don't actually really speak much Spanish, so I use a Comet browser to say, hey, find me the best e-bike on Mercado Libre. It'll probably know that because I'm looking at the website right now. Actually, I should say take over my browser and find me the best, let's say mid-price range, right? Something like that, mid-price range. So now it's gonna start searching. It's fully automating the controls now, and it's actually found the search bar, and it's going to start searching. And the lovely thing about this is that even though Mercado Libre is sort of like Mexico's Amazon, right? Everything in Mercado Libre is available within Mexico. So if you live in Mexico, if you're kind of like a digital nomad like me, um, you'll probably find yourself using Mercado Libre. That's aside the point. What is the point is that even though it's Spanish and I don't speak Spanish, Mercado Comet has no problem reading other languages. So it's going to now start searching for different options available in the e-bike uh, market, and it's going to use my specifications of mid-priced, and then it'll provide me a report when it's done. So over here we've got our agent, which is still working on the flight, and as you can see, it's now the stage of filtering for nonstop flights. We've got our location, destination, etc., etc. So basically, it's taken over my browser, and it is now, well, doing what I asked it to do. So I don't have to waste my time trying to search around. It's going to just find me what results it thinks are best, and then you can take the results that it's provided when it's done. It's like, okay, no, those are too expensive, right? Try to find me something that's like half that price. What are the best options? What are the best reviewed options? And cross-reference. Are these actually good brands, right? So you may find something that's like, okay, whatever you search for, whatever you find, do like an additional search and reference that these are actually good, reliable brands, whatever. So it's going to do whatever you request, and it's capable of kind of autonomously running until it gets its task done. Additionally, Comet Browser has a built-in voice mode model, so you can chat to it within your browsing context. If you don't want to like type, you can ask what's going on about the web page you're looking at, or just whatever you want. You've got that built-in voice chat model. Additionally, it's got deep research. If you're not familiar with deep research, that's kind of an extensive study of web sources, and then basically smart thinking mode is applied to analyze all of the sources it finds, maybe hundreds of sources on the web. So you can say, okay, what's the most beneficial types of exercises for, abdominals or something, right? And it can do an extensive research, provide you with a report. Yeah, basically, you got all of the features of a chat agent built into your browser with an assistant that can take over and analyze what you're looking at and take actions for you. In terms of like web page interaction, you could get this to answer your emails if you felt brave enough to do that. You don't necessarily say, okay, don't send the emails, but you could get it to kind of look through, prepare drafts, and maybe like do the final approval yourself. Like, okay, yeah, those are fine. Right. So you could get it to do whatever, basically whatever you can do in the internet, it can do too. On the web browser, it can do too. That being said, some web pages has a little bit of a hard time reading. So there may be certain pages that it struggles with a little bit, but for the most part, it will be able to do whatever you want it to do. So, for example, this might be a pretty useful thing. So, let's say you want a particular task worked on, right? Maybe you are using some AI art generation software. Maybe you're creating some ads, some YouTube thumbnails, some social media posts, whatever. You could say, okay, take over my browser and generate social media posts, social media content for my Instagram that are centered around travel and lifestyle. Make about, let's say, 10 of them, right? Or 100 of them, or whatever. You can set it off to do whatever you want. So now it's going to look at the website you've got open, which is OpenArt. We talked about this in a previous lesson, the image generation lesson. And it's going to actually be able to use the interface that I'm looking at here and actually handle some of my productivity, right? So not only is it going to be able to handle some of my productivity, it's actually going to do some of the thinking for me, right? Okay, so what are some interesting ideas for social media travel posts? Well, as you can see, it's already typed in some prompts and it's coming up with some ideas. Okay, so we've got our flight figured out here, San Jose, Vancouver, Sunday the 9th, nonstop. And there's my flight options. It's found that. We've got our bicycle options found over here. And it's basically compiled a little list and given me specifications. I'm going to say, okay, make me a list of links to each one. So it'll just kind of amalgamate that in a quick and easy click link way to each of those e-bikes it thinks are good options. And then we've got our, well, let's zoom in a little bit here so we can see. Oh, I can't zoom in. Well, if you can see those tiny little things, we've got well, here, that's okay. You guys probably get the idea. Let's zoom in. And as you can see, nope, zoom in that way, right? Zoom in backwards, right? So we've got some of our travel vacation spots. Let's say, okay, that's good. Okay, that's good, but let's add text to each one to make the images more engaging. Go ahead, try again. Right. I don't think I'll need to tell it to take over my browser this time because it already understands the context of taking over my browser. And as you can see, yeah, it's all turned blue. It's taking over my browser. And here's our list of links. Where is our list of links? Oh, still loading. Okay. Okay, and there we've got our nicely handy clickable linked list of links for our electronic bike. And then over here, we've got our Comet browser hard at work generating up. Let's see, we'll put it to a stop. It's continuing to work. I haven't told it to stop yet. So it's generating up all these different social media posts. Adventure Waits, Wanderlust, Coffee and Dreams. Now I could adjust this and I say, hey, make sure that the text is a sentence long each time or whatever the case may be. I didn't specify, so it's kind of gone with just like some simple couple words, big title. I think those look really nice though. Anyway, if this doesn't get your wheels turning as to the awesome potential of having a AI assisted browser agent that can take actions for you, well, you probably don't work on the internet or work on the computer much. But this is something that, well, really unlocks a lot of possibilities when it comes to automating workflows and, yeah, handling tasks. Well, hope you've enjoyed today's lesson. See you in the next one.